Hello and welcome to my channel, Portrait Artist Direct. So here you can see I'm drawing a portrait of Carrie Fisher, and I'm mainly using a mechanical pencil by Mozart, a 2B and a 4B. I tend to use the 2B to kind of get all the rough shading in, and then I go back over it with a 4B mechanical pencil, and then I sometimes use a Derwent graphic pencil 2B and 6B when I want the shading to look ever so slightly I want to get a little bit more blur into the image, whereas the mechanical pencils tend to be very precise, which is very handy for the kind of drawing that I'm doing. So here you can see I'd already laid out the image on my watercolor paper, and I'm really just sort of utilizing the 2B Mozart mechanical pencil to fill in the detail. So here I'm using the 2B Derwent graphic pencil just to get some of the shading in, because it would take too long to do with the mechanical. But I really do prefer the way that the mechanical pencil smudges and blurs. You can see I was using like a paper smudger there, and also you might have caught a glimpse, I do print out a picture on A4 paper of here. This is a photograph of Carrie Fisher that I'm utilizing, and I print that out, but basically I work off an iPad that I've got set up next to the picture. So now I'm working on the back of the hair, maybe just a little bit of shading, and then getting the teeth in. So I think, like a lot of portrait artists, really I start around the eyes, and then I do try and draw from the top left down, but not always possible to do that. And here you can see I'm just sort of getting some shading in around the mouth area, make sure I'm getting the kind of detail that I want. Working on the hair. Hair is very time consuming, takes multiple attempts to kind of go over it and get the darkness in that I want. And then here I'm just utilizing my Mono Zero eraser to just make sure I'm keeping some of the highlights in that I want. And I will work on it all later on, but I try and do as much as I can as I'm going through it. So again, backwards and forwards, a little bit of hair, a little bit around the eyes, on the mouth, and now I'm starting to fill in the hair. So this is where I've gone over it with a 2B, and this is still 2B. So this will be my 2B mechanical. Putting in just a few bits of hair that are coming off the side of the picture. And so here I kind of got most of the outline where I want it, and now you can see this is where I bring it in, the mechanical pencil, again Mozart mechanical pencil 4B. I'll leave the description of each of these pencils and erasers and bits and pieces that I used towards the end, and they'll be in the comments below as well, so please have a look there. So now I'm happy with basically where I've got everything. I can go in with the 4B, because sometimes you just can't quite get the image that you want, and you don't want to go in with too strong a line in case you make any mistakes. You'll see there will be a mistake I make under the chin in a minute. And here you can just see I'm working on the glasses and adding the darker 4B mechanical pencil in, and that really sort of helps the picture, the image pop, gives it a lot more depth. Just working on the eye, and then I'm going to come down here, just work on the hair and on the neck, and here you can see we're going to just make a little mistake and just get the shadow wrong, and I'm just going to kind of cross that out and come back in and fix that. So that didn't quite get the shading around the neck right, and I just managed to fix that. So I work on the hair. The way I really work on it, it's a very time consuming process. I don't think there's really a huge, well for me there's not a huge way around that, but I work on a 2B, maybe a 2B graphic pencil. I use a Derwent graphic pencil, and get kind of a baseline of grey in there, and then I highlight that. I go back over it with the mono eraser, and then when I'm happy with how it looks, then I start to go in with the 6B either the 6B Derwent or I go with the 4B mechanical, because the 4B mechanical is about as dark as I can get with the mechanical, but it gives me the detail. I don't like to lose too much detail. So here you can see this is exactly what I'm doing. So I'm working against the 2B that I've already got in, and I'm putting in the 4B over the top, which makes it darker. And I know that there are ways to make the picture darker using graphite powder and bits and pieces like that, but I like, at the end of the day, I like to see some of the pencil strokes and the fact that it is a piece of art rather than sort of a print or something like that, that it actually is a actual drawing. So now again, just going over the hair at the top, a few bits and pieces I'm not really happy with, but just trying to get the 4B in there, and I'm putting in just a few bits and pieces of hair across the forehead. I think I come in later on and actually erase those. I'm not 100% happy with it at this point. With these sorts of pictures, I don't like to erase too much, if possible, because it's very difficult to not show that that's already been in, but that's just the way it goes. Sometimes you've got to go with it. Now I'm just fleshing out the back of the hair a little bit more, because there's some of the back of the hair missing, and I'm just trying to get a feel for it. So there you go. That's kind of where the picture was up to at that point. And so again, so what I've done here, I've got a little bit more light on the picture, so hopefully everybody will appreciate that. You can see it a little bit better. But it's a kind of an unnatural light, so it doesn't look quite so stark as that with the human eye. But here you can see, so really just working my way around with the mechanical pencil. I don't use it for everything, but it is a great tool. You can probably see here that I'm switching between the mechanical pencil, the Derwent graphic pencil, and then just using an eraser and some tissue paper just to try and smudge a few bits through and soften some of the image. There's quite a lot of darker black on the back of the hair here, so I've just got to spend some time trying not to make too much of it too dark straight off, because then it becomes difficult to sort of get the depth that you're looking for later on. Okay, so yeah, just filling in more of the black, more on the back of the hair, and please subscribe, hit the like button, and post comments in the comments section below. And what I'll do is try and answer as many as I can. And if you've got any questions around the techniques that I use, or how the picture kind of comes together, then please feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to share what I do. So yeah, here we go. So there's still lots and lots to do with the overall picture, because some of the shading is a little too dark or too light, or needs filling in. And what I do is I get the picture kind of in sections complete, and then I'll look at the overall picture as a whole, and then lift some of the darkness or darken some of the lightness to make the whole picture a bit more homogeneous. So there's a piece here at the back of the hair I'm really not happy with. I'm going to come fix that in a bit, but at this point it's quite complicated. It may seem like there's just a lot of dark down here, but actually it's quite a lot to do. So using the pencil, the Derwent pencils at this point, just because the mechanicals are just too slow. So, but here I'm going in with the eraser and making sure that I've got my outlines for where I'm going to put the darker and lighter sections of the hair. So this is pretty much as far as I've gotten to with the picture. So I'm just quickly going to show you my workspace and then just run through some of the tools that I use for my drawings and my paintings. This is the mechanical pencil that I use. It's a Mozart, that's a 0.7 2B. And these are the refills. These are by Rotring, and these are 0.7 and 2B. And then I use a 4B, a 0.5, and that's with the Mozart pencil as well. The link is below. Using a Derwent graphic 2B pencil and a Derwent paper smudger. I get through a lot of those, and a 6B Derwent graphic, and my mono 0 eraser, which is really good. And here you go. So this is really just where the picture is at the minute. So it's still got plenty more to be done to it, but hopefully you've enjoyed watching this part of my icon series, people that really sort of had an impact on me. So this is Carrie Fisher. I think it's coming along quite nicely. I'm enjoying it, and you'll be able to see it on my website, which is www.portraitartistdirect.co.uk. And I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. It really does make a big difference to me and the channel, and just means that I'll be able to continue posting new videos every week. So if you've enjoyed it, please subscribe and hit the like button.